Hello again, everyone. Well, I'm still playing catch up. Got to Boxing Day, number 26. And I am sure by now that everyone has seen the dies that are in number 26. So there they are. And I absolutely love them. I just love this flower. Anyway. The idea that came to me when I saw this flower, obviously, knowing me, you know that I'm going to mess about chopping up some of this. But the idea that I had this time was to cut this from two different colours, from white, from my normal linen cardstock, and then also in a sort of equivalent colour to pumice stone. You know that colour that I love, the sort of ecru, beige, you know, I'm old, I like beige. So what I thought I would do, I would cut them from both those two coloured cardstocks, but then put the white one on top of the beigey one, sandy one, craft coloured one, whatever you care to call it, with just a tiny little bit showing behind. So I've cut out a whole bunch. They're in my little tray here. So this is it was a scrap that I found in my scraps drawer. There's the word birthday had been cut out of there and stuff. So I cut out 3 flowers from this. I cut out 3 flowers from white, but I cut a whole bunch more of the heads in white so that I can mess about with them. And carrying on wondering what I was going to do to present them in a design on a card, I looked through my Gummiapan dies and I found this, which is kind of a little journaling tag thing die to put on a mixed media card. And I thought if I put that, this is the effect I want. Can you see just a tiny bit of that craft coloured card showing? And then I would put my 3 flowers on there like that. The effect would be kind of like this. There is the flower, there is the head, and I'm sure that's the right way up for it. I think it's important that you do get it the right way up so that it looks kind of authentic, really. But then I would have white ones on the top, just kind of like that. Do you see? Not much showing at all. That's what I fancy. 1, 2, 3. So we'll see what we can do. And I messed about with different card sizes. I've got a 5x7 there. And this one is a regular, the size that I do, you know, my little, it's kind of half a sheet of A4. There's one I've cut with the panel as well. So let's look at these 2 panels, and then you can see how I decided which size I was going to use. Imagine that on there like that, with the flowers. They're upside down like that. 1, 2, 3. Let's just have a look. But I just kind of played around like this just to see. And looking at it now, I don't know if I've actually made my mind up yet or not. So let's just have a gander and see. There's that. Or there's this one. See if I can slide them over. Not very well. I was thinking the small one, but looking now, I'm wondering if I might do the larger one. I think once they're joined together, they would be a lot tidier. And so let me just join this one first of all, because then it'll be easier to sort out. But a lot of you have, you know, said that you do like to hear what's going on in my head when I'm trying to decide on what to do for a card. And I think that's probably kind of important, really. And the reasons why I decide on things, you know, not just I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. If I say I want this because X, Y, Z, it's like when I was teaching the kids, you know, just don't tell them stuff. You tell them why you're teaching them something so that it's going to be useful for them in future, so that they can call on that information in another situation. So, you know, that's what, if I put that on the card, it will make a difference to the overall effect, won't it? That like that. Well, look, let's forget about the bases. Let me just join these together, and then it's going to be a much easier job. I think, first of all, the first layer, I'm just wondering what it would be like if I've got them offset. And I think what I'm going to have to, what I was thinking was, I could take the center out of one of these and put it on so that the center of this card would show through. But having said that, because it's offset, it'll be a little bit, you know, offset, and you'll see a bit of petal and a bit of center. So what I'm thinking is that I use the base layer of the white that I'm going to use and colour it with a colour as close to that as I can get. Is that a good idea? Well, try it. That's what we do, isn't it? That's what we do. Now, have I got a colour that is close to that? It doesn't look much like it, does it really? Oh, that one there doesn't look far off, does it? WG01, warm grey 01. There it is, and it says warm grey 1. So let me just do it on a bit of scrap and see how like the colour it is. I think that's going to do. With a bit of twinkle on, it's going to be perfect. Okay, we've sorted that one out. Excellent. Right, now the next thing to do is to colour the middles of 3 of these, and then I'll start messing about with cutting the top layer to go around that. So let me just colour these middles. It's not bad actually, is it, for colour, really? With a twinkle on that, it's going to be fabulous. Right, there's my middles, and they will look accurate. So let's put some twinkle on them. There we are. I just love this stuff, twinkle. It's just so delicate. It gives a little bit of shine and a really, really faint hint of twinkle. Beautiful. This is Craft Artist shimmer pen, and I keep my bits and bobs that I'm going to be needing in one of these. This is a tool tidy thing, just to stop them from rolling around the desk. My desk isn't straight, sadly. So I put things down and they come rolling towards me. Okay, now let me stick these onto these. That'll be the next job. Just wondering whether I need to. I think this one can be actually can be flat. I'll be doing some shaping, but I'm not quite sure where or when. Now I've got to get this in the same orientation as that, so it's the top and the left it's going to be, and my flower is going to be kind of like that. Let's get the orientation right. It's going to look with the center of the flower. Right, it's going to go up to that little crack thing there. So that is, if that's the bottom, at the middle at the bottom, this is going to go on like that. Not quite that far away. It's a bit too big. I want a slightly smaller, because I won't have a lot of space for messing about with the stems, because they're really quite narrow. Okay, there's one. Yep, that'll do. Okay, now let's do the stems. I think I'll put the glue on the back of this and then just hope for the best, because I don't know how far over they're going to go of the beige ones. I still haven't found my best tweezers. I don't know where they've gone. I've probably wandered off with them in my hand somewhere. Let's see. I thought this was going to be really quick. Oh, goodness. It's more difficult to offset them evenly than it is to actually put them, you know, properly aligned. Okay, there's one. Okay, and the next one, I'll just whiz through these. Right, that's my 3 flowers. Now we're going to do this business. So I think we'll just take the centre out first. If that doesn't work, we can do the shaping and then take the centre out, but we'll just see how we go doing it this way first. I've got several to go at, so I'll have several chances of finding a decent way to do it. Okay. Now what I thought with this, some I could have sticking down flat and some a bit more raised, separated. Let me shape them first. Just with, let's have a look. I don't know whether to stick it exactly over the top of this one or offset that now. I think I'll... Let me just snip this a little bit. 1 or 2. That one, maybe. And perhaps this one. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the middle of this, just around the very centre. I don't want the rest of it stuck down. Okay. That looks quite nice. So look at the difference between that one and that one. This one's got a bit more life, hasn't it? So let's just do the same again for these, and I'll kind of, I think I'll just fast forward to where these are done in the same manner. Right, there are my flowers done. There are my stems done. So now the next thing is to do a little bit of twinkle on those, on all of them. Right, here we go. Now the moment to decide which size card base to put them on. Bearing in mind I do like a bit of white space. So let's just put these on a magnet out of the way safely. There's my 2 card panels. Let's see. Obviously so much easier to do this once they're all stuck together. Oh dear. Okay, let's try it on this one. Bring them a bit lower down. Let's just see. If you're unsure of something like this and you don't know which you fancy, a good idea is just to take a photograph of each one and then compare the, look at one and look at the other on a photograph. Actually, I'm going to go with the smaller one. Often I like a bit more white space, but on this one, I just felt that was just a bit, sort of, the bottom looked a bit lost. There was too much. So I'm going to go with this one. So, and I think that position is about okay. So this little thing is just over halfway up. And I don't think that I'm going to twinkle that because I want the emphasis on the flowers. So I'm going to stick this directly onto my card base. Some of you will probably say, oh, I'd rather have the larger one. But, it's personal preference. You probably might like the larger one, but on this occasion, I decided I was going to use the smaller one. So, on a different day, I might have chosen a different one too. I think it was about there, just slightly above halfway. Okay. Now, where do we want this? If I've got 3 things to position, I would often do the 2 outside ones to get them in, where they looked reasonable. For example, this one is further in from the end than that one is because of this leaf. So, do you see what I'm saying? What I mean? You can't have them exactly, I don't think anyway, exactly the same distance from the end. You've got to see what looks pleasing. And I think that will do. But that gap there, you see, is bigger than this gap here. But I think it works. So, I'm just going to, I think I might just glue the bit that's going to be on this little panel and leave the rest floating. So that was just below this, looks like a thorn. I didn't know these flowers had thorns, to just underneath that leaf. I think that was it. Right. About there. This one next. And then we'll position the other one absolutely in the middle between them. Same with if I'm doing 5. So I would do the 2 ends, then the middle, and then the ones in between that. Okay. Now this chap. I don't think I'm going to put a sentiment on this. I think we'll we'll kind of wait and see what transpires, what I might need. I'm sure it would do for a multitude of purposes. I've got where this leaf comes here, just about on that shadow line. Okay, now for these, how are we going to stick these on, I wonder? I think just with a little bit of glue in the middle at the back. And then, what I thought was going to be an exceptionally quick card will be finished. And that's the place I thought was the middle bottom, so there. Okay, this one might have to go a little bit behind. Yep. I wanted to use something Gummiapan to put behind here, and this was the longest thing I could find, but I think it'll be okay. There we go. And I think because that's fairly high, I will just join this panel to the front of the card absolutely flat. I won't put foam tape in between because I think it would just make it, you know, too much. In any case, there's quite a lot to look at there, in any case, isn't there? But a thank you, or how are you, or for you, or happy birthday. I think it could do even sympathy. I think, you know, there's a multitude of occasions that this card might be used for. So, as ever, thank you so much for watching. Hope you like this pretty little card, and I'll see you very soon.